Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. That's in North Alabama. You can also find us on worldwide television, found on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. Lots of fantastic guest hosts are out there as well. They'll tell you the truth. And so we really do appreciate that in this day and time. I wanted to talk to you about finding the right veterinarian for your precious pets. You know, we're all pet parents now, and that's whether you have just a dog or a cat, or you're a big farmer and say you have cattle, or you have, pigs and that kind of thing. Let's find the right vet. And I have found a cheat sheet. Now, this is through a website I found called petmed.com. That's PETMD.com. Picking the right veterinarian. This is a cheat sheet. There's a lot of factors to consider. The animals like Buddy and then our cat Greenlee are part of the family, really. And Buddy really does look out after us, and he wants to make sure we're taken care of. But you've got to think about finding a veterinarian, okay? And deciding on the right one can feel like it's an overwhelming process. I know, because you think all vets are the same, aren't they? No, they're not. They're not. So Pet 360 is here to help you find a confident decision in the pointers for both you and your pet. So here's the cheat sheet. Number one, ask around. That's a big deal right there. Talk with people. Now take this in mind. There's some people who cannot be pleased. Okay, so if you've been talking and asking around about a particular veterinarian, you've heard some really good things, you've heard one bad thing, kind of keep that in mind, but also consider the person, consider the source you're hearing the bad thing from, okay? Before you start counting stars and reading reviews on Yelp, because sometimes people just are in a nasty mood and they may give someone a bad reputation, and it may not be. But try polling your own personal network. Ask your friends. I always tell people to go with word of mouth, says Dr. Patricia Patterson. She says that's the best way. Staff veterinarian of Best Friends Animal Society. Ask friends, relatives, neighbors, people to go to church with, local shelters or rescues, whoever they use. This way you're going to get questions that are most important to you instead of scrolling through what's important to other people, okay? Choose friendly. That is a lot, okay? Because I'll tell you about dogs, especially dogs. Dogs, all kinds of pets, they just know people. They just do. So somebody who is friendly and outgoing, if your pet walks up to the veterinarian or maybe even the staff members, that's important too, and your dog likes them, probably they're a good veterinarian. But when calling to inquire about an appointment, take into consideration the attitude of the staff. That's really important, okay? So it's like pulling teeth to make a well-visit appointment sometimes, but think about how you'll feel when you call in about something that's a bit more serious, okay? So says Dr. Patterson, I would look at the warmth and friendliness of the staff. I do that anywhere I go anyway. When choosing a vet, keep in mind their overall personality. Are they calm? Do they have a good bedside manner? Does your pet seem to like them? The good vet will know how to soothe out a stressful situation instead of adding to it. You want your pet to be And you want like your pet to feel comfortable going around the veterinarian too. And that can be really important if they're sick and you have to take them for an appointment. They need to be calm, okay? So that's important. Connect on your pet care philosophies. Let's talk about that. What does that mean? There are a few hot topics when it comes to pet health, including if they have to be put down. Cancer care. I'm finding more pets with cancer now than ever before. Chronic disease planning and spaying and neutering. And those are having like-minded philosophies with your vet can make all the difference in the world when it comes to difficult decisions. And the author here says, I would also have an idea of what my principles and overall ethics on animal care are. And then I would ask the veterinarian and the staff what they think. Your pet's quality of life is important to you, and it should be to your veterinarian as well. I know we had a kitten, and it's when Phil and I had first got married. And so this kitten got out of my eyesight. It was cold weather. And so he set up on the car engine to get warm. And I'm telling you, it was really cold outside. We didn't know he was there. And so Phil cranked the motor, and guess what? The cat was injured, got hurt. Little bitty kitten. And so, of course, I was all tore up about it. Brad was a kid then. And so we took our cat to the veterinarian. And I said, see if you can save it. Well, he said, this cat is in so much pain. He said, it wouldn't be worth it. He'll never be okay again. And it hurt his little jawline. But I appreciated the veterinarian being, and it was on a Sunday morning. They always charge more on the weekends, right? So he said, he said, my suggestion is you put it down. Well, Brad started carrying on. I started carrying on. Phil had to be the tough one in this situation. And so Phil said it needs to be put down, Donna. He said, a lot of people, and this is the thing I liked about this veterinarian. He commended me on them bringing him in. He said, a lot of people just tossed it to the side. He said, but you care and I care. He said, I care about the quality of life. And this kitten will never have the quality of life. And so anyway, he did put him down, little kitten. But you want one who really feels for your pet. So Buddy one time was stung, and he used to be really bad, still is sometimes, about biting ants, bugs, whatever. He just bites at them. He wants to get rid of them, so he'll bite, especially if he thinks it's going to do any harm to Phil and me. So we didn't know. I thought Buddy had been snake bit. He was swollen. He was a puppy at this time, but his whole head was swollen. And I told Phil, I said, oh my God, he's been into it with a snake, and a snake has bit him. So we're freaking out. We go to the veterinarian. We take him there. And the veterinarian said, calm down, Mama. Called me Buddy's mama. He said, calm down, Mama. He's okay. He said, he just bit. He bit into a bee or a wasp or something. He said, it's not snake bit. So anyway, he took care of him. So he was calm. And when he was calm, then Buddy got calm. And so anyway, he's taking care of old Buddy now. He's somewhere around 10 years old now, about 9 years old. And so he ended up being good. But I think a lot of it is just like your kids. When you take your kids to the doctor, if you're calm, then your kids are going to be calm. Same with the pets, I think. I think if we're calm, they're calm. If the doctor's calm, everybody's calm. Okay, so busier usually means better. Okay, and I learned this the hard way with contractors. So, good contractors are hard to come by. So we were looking for a contractor, and everybody was busy. All the busy ones were busy. The good ones, I would rather say, were busy. So we found this guy was ready to come the next day. Might have known a bad one. So if your veterinarian's a good one, they're probably busy. Can't find a seat once you get to the office? Standing room can only be a good sign of what this office has to offer. Don't be put off by a busy, hectic, or a fast-paced waiting area, suggests Dr. Patterson. As this can be sometimes made a popular, well-liked, and hard-working clinic. So you can also check Yelp to find out a little bit more about them, or other websites. And I'll tell you something now, people tell it all on the Facebook page. So if you've got a veterinarian, you're just a little unclear, you don't know about him, find one now. Don't be in a rush situation if something happens to your pet. You need to know now. Go ahead and start searching now. And I'll tell you, again, people will put reviews, whether it's a good veterinarian or not, and they'll also, a good staff, they'll put that on there as well. Okay, let's talk about money matters. Okay, vet bills can be hefty and they can add up like super quick. So whether you're there for routine vaccines and just doing a little checkup, with your Buddy or with your Greenlee, or emergency x-rays, just make sure you ask about cost and how they expect payments, and if there's a credit line. You need to get that up front. I know you're not going to be thinking about it, just like with your family. Pets are your family, okay? So that's going to be the last concern you have, but you better get the cost up front. Splitting up payments, if possible, can help your pet get on all the treatment they need without having to break the bank all at once. And that really, really is true. But the Vetville, I think there, as a matter of fact, one of our shows pretty soon we'll get to it. I think there are probably some kind of insurance companies now for pets. I've heard a little whispering out there about that. Okay, make sure you check out the hours of operation. It can be huge. So I would ask about how a vet sees an emergency patient and what their after-hour policies are. That's important. If you pick your vet based on their proximity and they're close when you need them, you may end up having to travel much farther just for an operation clinic. There are a lot of good ones in this area too, but you do need to check that out, because if they have to take care of your pet and it is after hours, guess what? It's going to cost you more. Okay, location, location, location. How many times have we heard that about any kind of a business? It's important with a good veterinarian as well. So having a vet close by could be really a good thing if you can walk or make a quick drive. That's great. Now, aside from making well visits less of a hassle, the closeness gives you a peace of mind knowing that in case of an emergency, your vet is going to be close by. Now, one thing about this step, though, is if the most convenient vet doesn't tick the other boxes on your list, then you may want to spread your search just a little bit further out. After all, it may be worth the extra few minutes in the car for a more skilled vet or better understanding staff. Another thing you want to think about is getting a second opinion. Always do that. Now, your pet and their health is a matter that's close to your heart, right? They're part of the family. A second opinion can't hurt, so a serious diagnosis, surgery, or a test recommendation can turn your world upside down when it comes to your pet. And getting a second opinion could do wonders when it comes to setting your mind at ease. So Dr. Patterson at petmd.com also suggests asking your prospective veterinarian if he uses a referral clinic or has a problem with a second opinion, if at some point something like that could be needed. Let's go ahead and cut into a commercial break. We will be right back in just a few minutes, so you hang in there, okay?
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdy.lawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Okay, we are back. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. And you can also find us on television 2 different ways. Channel 182 on Charter Communications Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. That's Net News Network. .net, where it's all about animals today. So we're going to be talking about, we talked about veterinarians, how to find the right one. I've got another topic for you right here, and it's at the same website, petmd.com, petmd.com, and it's about mobile vet clinics. What are they? I know there were some in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they're in the bigger towns, the bigger cities. And so let's talk about that for just a few minutes, and they're very, very handy, okay? Now, some can be pretty pricey, so there's some questions you may want to ask. Okay, so mobile veterinarian services for dogs and cats are best known for providing low-cost spay and neuter services. Basically, that's what they do, as well as basic medical care like those deployed in the ASPCA and undeserved communities in New York and Los Angeles. So I don't know that we have anything like that in this particular area, but maybe heading towards Huntsville and Birmingham could be a possibility. Now, some private practice vets also make house calls to provide end-of-life services for pets. Let me say this, the University of Auburn has a fantastic, people come worldwide to the veterinarian classes out there to pursue their degree in becoming a veterinarian. So these are more likely to happen in the state of Alabama because of the fantastic college we have here. You just have to call around for that. And you can call Auburn University and ask for referrals. Now, anyone who's ever transported a panicked cat or dog to the veterinarian's office, however, knows that having a vet come to them could save a lot of anxiety for all parties, all you little four-legged friends involved. That's why more small animal veterinarians around the country are hitting the road to treat dogs and cats and pocket pets such as hamsters and guinea pigs, and the occasional resident of a farm or petting zoo in the comfort of the animal's own homes. Absolutely, that's true. Okay, so how do mobile vet clinics work? Okay, this is how they work. For veterinarians, mobile clinics offer the opportunity to observe and treat animals in their home. which can result in more comprehensive care. So it's the best way to get a full view of who your pet is. Now, the owner of HousePaws Mobile Veterinarian Services, Dr. Lisa Miller, she launched a mobile service back in 2010 with a little more than her family car, a stethoscope, and a doctor's bag of supplies. And you know what? I think this is a very, very good idea. It would cut down on the possibilities of, it would cut down on a lot of expenses for the veterinarian, any veterinarians who are thinking about doing something like this. And let me say this. So your pets are smarter than you think they are. I know Buddy, after one visit to the veterinarian, he knew we were going down 75 and going towards Albertville, and we had to turn to the right. He actually recognized he was just having a good time, being a good dog, looking out, panting, wanting us to pet him and all this kind of stuff. It was just for a regular appointment, just to make sure he's okay. And so he was doing fine. We turned on the road to go to the veterinarian's place. He started freaking out. He remembered, and this is just after one visit, he remembered the veterinarian. And then I told Phil, I said, that's probably just a fluke. Who knows? He sensed it. He sensed he was going to the doctor. Next year, the same thing. And this is a good veterinarian too, by the way. He just didn't want to go to the doctor like we act. And they know. So I think mobile services would be a great, great thing. Okay, now the only thing they would probably not be able to do would be maybe complicated surgeries, hospitalizations, and that kind of thing. Now, mobile clinics can offer a wide range of in-home services. For example, physical exams, vaccinations, blood work, and x-rays, as well as behavioral counseling. Sometimes our little pets need to have some counseling, and consultations on nutrition. Have they gained too much weight? They've not gained enough weight? So that's weight management. Allergies, pets can get allergies as well. Diabetes management and senior health. Also, you can find some who have additional services such as euthanasia if it had to be put down, whelping assistance, and even deliver medication and pet food to clients. Most mobile veterinarians do any procedures that require anesthesia, like surgery or dental work, at their affiliated office or hospitals, or refer the client to another veterinarian. But some doctors work out of larger mobile clinics that can support basic surgical and dental care for your pet. Pets need to have dental care as well. Perhaps the biggest benefit of a mobile clinic for pets is their anxious owners is the elimination of that stressful car ride. Now, Buddy loves to ride in the car. He gets a kick unless he knows you're going to go to the veterinarian, then he starts freaking. Mobile veterinarian services also offer flexible hours, which could include nights and weekends. You just need to check with them and make sure. Accessibility for pet owners who are elderly, that can help, or have mobility issues, and the opportunity to build a lasting relationship with the whole family. Now, one drawback may be that the mobile vet clinics charge extra fee to cover the travel expenses, especially with the higher cost of fuel, these days. On the other hand, mobile vets tend to spend more time with each animal and interact more with the family, which can make up for the added expense. In addition, the practice sets up multiple appointments throughout the community days at apartment buildings and retirement homes, which can also help defray the travel fees. Now, the benefit of in-home treatment. I think this is pretty good. If I were to be a veterinarian, this is probably the way I would go. The ability to see a pet behaving naturally in its own environment means a lot, including what it eats and how it interacts with people and other animals in the house is invaluable. So the veterinarian can see firsthand, You can give more thorough care, I believe, at home. You can also see things that you wouldn't see at a traditional setting. For example, while examining a cat living in a multi-feline home, the doctor noticed another cat having an asthma attack and was able to diagnose and treat that pet. And so that was done. So she also detected leg problems in dogs by being able to observe the canine walking around in its own home. Because just like us, when we go to the doctor's office, we're going to be a little bit different. That's where your pets are too. Okay, so She also agrees that the opportunity to see firsthand how a pet lives can be very helpful, if only to gauge the accuracy of what pet parents say about how much food they're giving their animals. The pet owner may say, "I only feed my dog a cup of food a day," and then they show you how what the size of the cup is. I mean, there's different size cuppings. I mean, you can have like a little cup, a little teacup, where you drink a little tea every morning or in the afternoon, or you can have a big mug. So there's a difference between a cup and a mug. Okay, so McIntyre, who's this doctor, launched her practice in 2007, and she provides pet care in Naperville, Illinois area with 2 additional veterinarians. Because the practice has no brick and mortar facility, she refers all surgeries and procedures that require anesthesia to local veterinarians with their own offices. And I think this can probably work twofold. So if you're working with someone who does have an office, you don't want the office expense, and you are a veterinarian, they may give you the smaller ones, and I'm not meaning that in any demeaning way, but if they handle the big things like the surgeries and things like that, that leaves you more time and gives them more time to send you referrals. So I think this can all work together. McIntyre also says being able to take her time and assess an animal in a low stress environment also results in more productive exams, she says. In a sense, it's kind of made them better vets. And also, some animals are territorial, if you know what I mean. And I know a dog just walking by our house upsets Buddy because he thinks afraid this dog's going to come get into his domain. So I think it's because they're not seeing other pets, they're not hearing other animals bark. I think that probably helps. All clients are asked to do is provide a well-lit area, preferably with a rug and a soft surface where she can examine the pet. And then she says, we just try to make it as comfortable as possible. Going the extra mile. Isn't that something? That's customer service at the best, okay? It's no secret, she says, that animals often hide when they're ill or injured. So sometimes the vet have to go the extra mile, says McIntyre, such as when one of her fellow vets had to climb over a washing machine. That's a spam call coming in. So one of the other fellow vets had to climb over a washing machine in order to access a sick cat because the cat went running away. Now, on occasion, mobile veterinarians also get the chance to help, not with just a pet, but an entire family. And we'll talk about what that means. McIntyre recounts being called to euthanize a woman's ailing 15-year-old Dalmatian. The dog had belonged to the woman's son, who was killed by a drunk driver several years prior. So McIntyre says the woman's family and friends filled the room to say their goodbye to their son's beloved pets. That meant something. It was a moving experience that likely wouldn't have occurred in a traditional veterinarian's office. I think that's just so cool. Every veterinarian, I've met a couple of veterinarians that weren't all that, but most veterinarians I have met have been super awesome. Absolutely. And I just think this would be, if you're thinking about becoming a veterinarian, or maybe you're just thinking, well, COVID hit and it's kind of damaged my business a little bit. I'm not getting the business I used to have. If you're thinking about cutting expenses, this just may be the way to do it. Now, you'll need to have a big enough facility in your vehicle to be able to do that. But I think it's a great, great idea. Thank you so much for watching The Edge. My name is Donna, and it's been a pleasure meeting with you today. You can find us on our radio station, icradio.media. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and you can also find us on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Find the podcast there, netnewsnetwork.net. You'll love the other talk show. Well, I want you to watch me too, but there are so many great talk show hosts that are within this podcast area right here as well. Hope you have a super duper awesome blessed day today, the rest of the day, and take care of those pets because they take care of you. Again, thank you so much for watching.